So we learned about how the routing works. Routing actually managed by React Router DOM library. And for that, we need some components like browser router and routes and a route. And we need link and outlet. Outlet we will see in the next example. So the purpose of routing is to enable simple navigation in a single page application. Routing internally uses Ajax so that it can bring any new content without reloading the page. So we will see how this works with more features. One example we will see. Yesterday we saw one example that is just to understand how to create routes and use the routes. So today we will create another example with the route. Let's see. So what we will do is we will create a separate routing related interface. Okay. So yesterday we designed this one. As we already discussed, the route configuration when you define, entire application starts with only one component. And we will keep app component as startup. It is as the startup component. Okay. Now we will design one interface. I will create a separate folder here as a shopper. That is the folder we are creating, shopper, right? So this shopper is a folder. Okay. In this, we will create some components. In the shopper folder, I am adding one is home.jsx, another categories.jsx, another products.jsx, and details.jsx. Like this, we have some components. And we will have some invalid or error.jsx. Error.jsx. Okay. Or we will give this as not found.jsx. Okay. Right. So these are all the components we are having. Home, products, categories, and all. Okay. First, we will design home. Export function home component. It must return some presentation. So we will keep here shopper home. That is the home component we are having. So we will keep here as online shopping online. So some best offers, something like this. Okay, this is the home we are having, right? Next, similarly, I will create all components. First empty I will create. Categories, export, function, categories, and return. And here it is categories. Okay. I will similarly create products, and here we will do products. Details, it is details function, and we have a details. And not found, this is not found, and here we have page not found. Okay, so this is the list of all the components that we added in this shopper. So we will go to app, app.js. I will modify all this here. Okay, I will clean up all this. Let's create everything from the base level. First, to create the routes, we have to import some components. So we will import from where? Import from React Router DOM. From React Router DOM, we have to import browser router, routes, route, another one is link. These are the components. Entire routing you have to keep inside the browser router. Browser router you have to define. Now in the browser router, we will create some header. In the header, I'm just giving some div. This is like shopper. Okay. Another div, just I will give some home. Here I will give some span like home, shop. Like that, we have some options like blog, pages. Okay. Another div, I will keep some span, class, BI search. And we have some class BI person. Okay. BI card. This is just a design we are creating. So this is the header part, and npm start. Okay. In the section part, what we need to do is section. In this section part, we will create a simple routes collection. In the routes collection, we are creating a route. So, and what is the first route? Route path is slash. That means if user is not requesting any specific, then element. We have to get the element that is home. Home component should come. So this home, yeah, home component should come. That is a simple one. Here we are having home. Not only that, if user requests home, then again home should come. Then we can define route, path, If it is home, then element, the same element should come. The show home element should come. So we have two requests for the same. If user is not requesting any specific, then it will come. Or if user is requesting home, home should come. That's not required, but sometimes we can expect anybody requesting home from URL, then this will come. Next, we will run this and see the output. We will see. So this is the home page coming. Already home page is here. For a header, I will just keep some design. Header, we are giving deflex, justify content between, padding 2 and font size 2 or 3. So we will have BG dark, text white. Okay, that is the header design we are having. Okay, now I will keep this all these spans margin X2. The same I will maintain for all of them. MX2. So this is the design. So we have some space for that. This is shopper home. That is fine. We are having a shopper home. Now, in the home, we want to give a navigation. That means what should happen here? Home is coming. When user clicks on this home, that home should come. When user clicks on shop, all the categories must come. Whatever categories are there, those categories must come. Shopping related categories must come. So when user clicks that shop, categories must display. So what we will do is we will go to the app. In the app, we need to write the route. The route path is categories. And which element it should render? It should render the categories element. And when this should come, when user clicks on this link, this shop link, and this is also home link. So this home, I will make it as a link. And link to which one? So slash, or we already have a home also. Now similarly shop, this should link. This should link to, this should link to categories. It should link to categories path. So the path names, you have to mention exactly how you defined in the route table. In the route table. Okay, now you can see these are here. And for these links, we will put a class as a link white and text decoration none. That means we are not giving the text decoration here. So this is link white will be working for link actually, text white. Okay. Now the same class we will apply for the shop also. Fine. The same thing is here. Now what should happen is when user clicks on shop, the categories must come. When user clicks on home, the home will come. We are accessing the shop and the home. Okay. Now, when user clicks on shop, I want all the categories to display. Whatever categories we are having, I want all the categories to display. Categories, we have fake store. From the fake store, we will bring the categories and display the list of all the categories. So what we will do, go to the categories, go to the categories, and here bring all the categories. From fake store we need to do, then I will put a constant categories, what it is, set categories is equal to use state. We are expecting an array. Okay, now on load, use effect. On load, what we need to do, we need to use Axios. Axios dot what, get https fake store api.com/products/categories. So then get a response, and here set categories response dot what data, and display those categories below. All the categories I will display as an ordered list. In an ordered list, we need to display all the categories. So I'm using categories dot what map and read every category. For every category, we need to keep a list item. This list item will have a key. Key is category, and the value also category. That is fine. So this is all the categories information. So when I click on shop, it will get all the categories and display here. That is working fine. So how you want to display, that depends on your requirement. Means I'm just using all the categories as list. Now, what should happen here is these categories, FS3, yeah. These categories, what I want is clickable. I want those categories clickable. We can display in uppercase to uppercase. It will be displayed in uppercase. I want these categories clickable. And when I click, that category related products must come. That means it should get the details of the products that belong to that particular category. So when I click on this category name, what it should do is it should navigate to products. It should navigate to products. In the products, it should it should display only the products that belong to that category. Now, how you will send this category name to the products? You are navigating from one component to another. So when you are navigating from one component to another, and they are not parent child, one is categories, another one is products. They are different components. You cannot use state, because state is only for the current component. You cannot use context. Context is for the component and the other components that run inside the component. But here products will not run inside categories. product will move from categories to products separate. Then how you transport data from one component to another depends on data. If your data is very huge, then you use some third party techniques. We will use third party state management. Later, you will learn that we will use third party like Redux and all. But if data is in small quantity, then usually what we can do is we can transport data from one component to another by using we call route parameters. Generally in JavaScript, you do query string. By using query string, you can transport. Here we have route parameters that allow to transport data from one component to another. Not only that, route parameters allow to query exactly what you want inside a component. So if data is less small, if data is small, it doesn't require complex, then you can go with route parameters. Otherwise, there are so many other techniques. Can you tell me how to store data in a browser? You can use local storage, you can use session storage, you can use cookies, and you can access from any another component also. But what is difference local storage, session storage? You learned in JavaScript, session storage is temporary, local storage is permanent. Session storage is accessible only within the tab. Local storage is accessible across tabs. That means it depends on the requirement, how you want the data, what is the scope of data, that all are important. So here we want to transport data from one component to another component. Then in the routing, one important concept that you are going to see today is, so we have route parameters. Route parameters. So route parameters actually traditional traditional navigation in JavaScript, traditional navigation in JavaScript based applications, JavaScript based application uses query string for transporting data. Query string for transporting data. Actually, query string looks like this. Some server.com slash, suppose we have something like uh, this is categories question mark name is equal to electronics. In that ampersand, you can have multiple uh, some sub is equal to mobiles, ampersand brand is equal to some LG, like this we can say Apple. That is how the data is transported actually. Query string uses lot of key and value references which are visually shown to you every time in the URL. But now this becomes simple. In routing, this becomes simple. Actually, routing makes the query simple and SEO friendly. Routing makes the query simple and SEO friendly. Actually, in routing, it becomes like this: slash categories, slash electronics, slash mobiles, slash Apple. Like this, it becomes. It is more simple. That means all the data is passed just by using slash, 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 slash. So it is easy to carry data. Actually, it is very easy for user also to query anything he wants. Directly, the request will be in a simple format. So it makes the query simple. But in order to make a route accept the queries and use those parameters, that means you have to configure route path to accept parameters. You have to configure route path to accept parameters. First, your route path must accept parameters. Configure the route path to accept parameters. Actually, how you define is we have route. Route path will expect here a path like suppose it is categories. Now, if it is expecting some parameters like it is expecting category name, subcategory name, and brand name, in that case, it uses slash colon name slash colon sub slash colon brand like this. That is how we define the route parameters. You can have any number of parameters. You can have any number of parameters, but every parameter is defined with slash colon. That means now categories is a path which is expecting 3 parameters. Now, how do you pass these parameters? We have to pass the parameters from URL. That means actually parameter values are passed from URL or link component. They are passed from URL or link component. From link component, how do you pass? We have a link to. Link to where? Link to what? Categories. But categories expecting 3 parameters. We have to pass the 3 parameters slash electronics, slash mobiles, slash Apple. Like this, we need to pass. So you can put some link text there. So how to configure the parameters slash colon. How to pass the parameter values slash. That means into into the categories, into the categories, you are passing these three parameters. Now, what categories have to do? Categories have to collect all those parameters and use them. How you can access the parameters? You can access route parameters by using use params hook. We have a hook called use params. What this hook will do is it will collect all the parameters that you pass. Now, in JavaScript, how to collect a query string? To collect a query string in JavaScript, you have location.search. Location search is going to collect the query string. Here we use params. That means let params is equal to use params. That's it. It is going to collect all the parameters. And important is now this params is an object type. Params is an object type. What is the parameter name? Parameter name is name. What is its value? Its value is electronics. That means it returns the parameters like an object. What is second parameter name? Sub is the parameter name. Parameter name means what you mentioned in the route path. And what is the parameter value? Parameter value is what? Mobile. And what is another parameter name? Brand. And what is its value? Some Apple. Like this, the parameters are written. How to access any specific parameter? You know, params dot what? Name. Params dot what? Sub. Like params dot brand. We can access any specific parameter like that. So configuring the parameter, passing the parameter, and accessing the parameter. So how do you define the parameters and use them? This is route parameter. So let's implement this and see in this example. Now what I want is, I want the route. Yeah. I want this to be passed some 5. Okay. Now I want this categories to be clickable. When I click, it should go to products. So this app will contain another route. We will put a wildcard route if what is the wildcard route? Route path is what? Asterisk. If route path is asterisk, we will put an element. Not found is the element. Okay. Now we will create another route. This route path, the route path is products. but products must display only the products that belong to the category, specific category. So this products path is expecting category name. So we will pass a parameter slash colon cat name. That is the category name. So we will just put category name, category name. We are passing the category, just category name. Okay. So now what happens is, which element it should render? It should render what? Products. It should render the products one. That means we have a products path, but you cannot directly access. When you want to access, you need to pass the parameter. Remember, if a route is having parameter, every parameter is mandatory. Without passing the parameter, you cannot access that route. So now we will go to categories. I want the category name clickable. Then I will keep it in a link. I want the category name clickable. I will put in a link. That means the category names are kept in link. And when I click on this, it should go to products. So we will put here link to. Link to, I am giving the path products, but it will not work. So I click on this now. It will go to that not found. Why not found? Because products is expecting parameter. Without passing the parameter, you cannot access. So that means this products is expecting category name as parameter. How to pass the category name? So here category name changes for every link. So here we will put a binding expression. In that we will put a backtick. Backtick is for dynamic expression we can add. What is the first route path is what? Products. Products slash. It is expecting category name. Category name dollar. The category name is coming from the category reference that contains the category name. That means now what happens is when user clicks on jewelry, then it will pass that. Now see the important. Already what is categories? Now when I click on this, what happens is this path will be added to the existing path. That means when I click on this, it will add products jewelry to this existing path. But I told you yesterday, we have to delete this and we have to add only this. That is what I told you, absolute path and relative path. Relative path. So what should happen? This products category should not add to any existing path which is already there. They should clean up and they should add a new path. Then just we have to put a slash before it. That becomes an absolute path, right? Already I explained in the last session about it. Now click on category. Then it will get to the products. And into the products, the category name is passed. Now what we have to do in the products component, we have to collect this category name and display only the products that belong to that category. So what we have to do, go to products now. Here we have to collect the category name. How to collect category name? LET params is equal to use params. Use params is going to get the route parameter. In the route parameter, the category name is passed. that category name we have to collect. In the route parameter, a category name is passed, we have to collect. Only one parameter is passed, we have to collect it. So after collecting, we should display only the products that belong to that category. So we have to create a constant products and a set products and use state, and it is an array of object with ID, title, price. You know what is the data coming, and category and description and rating. Rating is again object with rate. Another one is count. So this is the data coming. That is the data coming from the fake store. Now what should happen is when products is loaded, that means use effect. We have to collect here. We have to collect axios.get. Get https colon double slash fake store api.com slash products slash category name. Category name is coming from the route parameter. So we have to use dollar params dot what category name. Remember, that is the key that you have defined in the route. That is the key you have defined. Under that key, the category name is present. We have to collect the category name. And dot then, what we have to do? So we have response and put the response data in what? Set products. Set products response dot data. Okay, now all the products are collected, but these are the products belong to that category, and display them here. And what I want to do is, I want to display those products. Only names you want, you can show. I will put the products preview. That means I will put the product related small preview. Preview, how you will display? We will put a simple div. We will put here expression. What is it? So products dot map, read every product, and for every product create a div. So in the div, we have to put an image. We'll put a key. Key contains product dot id, and here we will put an image. Image source is coming from, we haven't given image. Here we need one more option. What is it? Image. Image is string type. Okay. Okay. That means we have to get product dot what image. So width is some 100 and the height also some 100. It's a small image we are giving. That means we are accessing all the images and we are displaying all the images here. And every div will have a class name margin y as 2. That means what it is going to do is only those products will come. The products belong to that particular category will come. Right. So I will keep them more simple. Suppose I say 50-50. That is going to display the products here. These are the products that we are having. Now, actually, you can show any way you want. Suppose you can display like a card like, then you need to make some changes. This is what? Card. Okay. And padding to margin 2. And this image, you can make it as class card image top. Okay. Then all these are displayed as card, and every card is having style also. No? We will put a style. Width of every card will be some 200 pixel. All the cards will be displayed in this way. Okay. So 100 pixel, all the cards will be displayed in that way. That's just like a card style I am applying. Okay. Now let's go here. You can observe side by side you want to display them. Then make sure that this entire container, this must be in a main or something, and we will keep the class as dflex. Okay, then we will keep these side by side. Now let's go to shop. When I go to shop, it will go to categories. I click men's clothing, then it should get the men's clothing products and show. Now remember, from here, it should able to go back to categories. Go back to categories. So here, what we will do is we will put a simple div, and we will put a link, and the link will be back to what? Categories. It should link to slash categories, because we will make sure that this is not added to existing path. Every time it should be an absolute. Otherwise, current which location you are to that path, this categories is added. That is not correct. Okay, back to categories. Then it will get back to the categories. So you selected a category, the category products will come. And back to categories, it will get back to the categories. So we are accessing the data and we are displaying. Now here it is not done. What we will do, when user selects a category, so first home, user will select on shop. User will select a category. Now, when user clicks on this image, that image detail should come. That means when user clicks on that picture, the detail of that product should come. That means I want this one clickable. But when I click, it should navigate to another component called details. In the details component, it should show only the details of this product. How we can display only the details of this product? That means we need to navigate. So see what is happening from categories. We are navigating to what? Products. From products, we are navigating to details. So from category, what we are passing as data? Category name. That is passed into the products. From products, what I should pass into details? From products, what should I pass into details so that details can show the detail of only that product? That means we can pass the product ID. Na? That means from products, I need to pass a product ID, and details will collect the ID, and it will show details of the product that belong to that particular ID. So what we will do now? We will create another route path. We will create another route path. Remember, always the wildcard route must be at the end. Asterisk not found must be at the end. Okay, route. This time, what is the route path? Route path is what? Details. What parameter it is expecting? Slash colon, what it is expecting? ID. Which element it should render? It should render which element? Details. Details element it should render. And when you want this details, when user clicks on this product, when user clicks on that product image, that means I want this image clickable. That means put this image in which location? Link. Okay. Now it should link to, link to, link to. We will put a binding expression. It should go to slash what? Details. And slash it should pass the current product ID. That means here we will use product dot what? ID. Now you can see here. Now these images are clickable. When I click on that image and I click on that image, actually we can do a lot of things. For example, see, in this image, I am giving a title. Title is dynamically coming from product dot title. And you know what is a title for image? What is title for image? When you move the mouse pointer onto that, it should display that. That means when you move the mouse pointer, it will display. The mouse over, it will display the detail that we are adding as a title. So you know HTML have a title attribute now. Now when I click on this, it will go to details and see it is passing ID. Now what we should do? Collect that ID and show the details of that particular product here. So go to the details page. In the details page, we need to display the details of that particular product ID. So here we have to do two things again. Now we are expecting in the details, we will create an object. So we have let params is equal to use what? Params. So we have use params. Now here another one is we are expecting only one product. So what we will do? We will create a constant. We are expecting a product. Set product is equal to use state, and this is the product. That means we are expecting product which will have ID, title, image, and all the details. It is only one object we are expecting, right? Next, now use effect. Okay, when component mounts, what we have to do? When component mounts, what we have to do? We have to use Axios dot what? Get. How to get specific product details? HTTPS colon double slash fake store API.com slash what? Products slash the product ID. Product ID comes from where? Params. Params dot what? ID. And dot then we will collect the response and we will set product. Into that we will put response dot data. And that product detail we will show here. We will show the product detail here. Product detail, just I will use a data list, data term. Here I need title, data definition, input type is equal to text. Not text, just directly display. We don't want any editing. Huh? That means product dot what? Title. Another data term is price. So we have product dot price. Another data term is preview. Preview is the image. We will create an image source. Image source is product dot image. So width and height 200, 200 we are giving. Okay, these are few details of that particular product. That means you see the detail of that product will come. Now we want back to categories. That means what we will do. So we will put a link. We'll keep a div. We'll keep a link. Link should have back to what category? Back to category. But actually that category is an electronics category or jewelry category. Link to, it should navigate to backtick. It should navigate to slash what categories. Not all categories. It should navigate to actually products. And actually it should say back to not final category, back to what products. And in that products, we need to pass the category name. That means product dot what category. That means now you click on back to products. That means it will get back to the products. You click on any product, the product detail will come. And you click on back to products, it will get back to products. Back to categories, get back to the categories. You selected some women's clothing, those products will come. You selected some product, the product detail will come. So we are navigating from one location to another, and we are passing the data from one component to another. That is route parameters. How you can define the parameters and how you can pass the parameters. So this is actually the concept of route parameters. We have route parameters. Now, important here, when you are working with routing, there is another technique actually. Technique is when user clicks on, when user clicks on any product, that product detail should come here only. That means actually the product details is coming in a new screen. No, I want here only. That means currently, what is this route? This route is products is the route. And from products where they are navigating to what? Details. But I want inside the products only. Inside the products only details I want. That means the details path should work inside the products only. That means I want to display the detail of the product there itself. Then how you can configure the route? That means actually this route is route, the route path is what? Products slash colon what? Category name. That is the route path. Inside the route path, you can have another route path. Another route path. This will be details slash the colon ID. That means this can be like this. This is the route. Of course, this is also having an end. This is the route inside route. We call this as nested routes. That means inside the products only details should come. It should not be in a new screen. It should come in the same. That means here, when user clicks, the detail should come here itself. Here or some right side, anywhere you want to display that. So usually, if I can display the products instead of deflex or say flex column, Flex column will display all of them like this. And what I will do is height, style, and height as suppose 300 pixel. Then we will keep overflow auto. Then additional contents, whatever are present, we have to overflow. So this is width. Width is some 200 pixel. That means now usually it looks like this. We can scroll them and see the products here. Now what I want here is when user clicks on the product, the detail should come here itself. So generally we can achieve that by using nested routes. Within the route, again route. That combination we can create. Usually we call that as what? Nested. Nested routes. Nested routes. Or people call them as child routes also. Nested or child routes we can define. So a route can configure relative routes within the context. A route can configure relative routes within the context. Relative routes within the context. Within the context. So you can access the requested path and render its content within current context. That is the point. Syntactically, route path. This is actually parent and element uses a parent element. Element uses a parent element, and we don't end it here. Inside this, we define a route path. This is actually child. Element, we define a child element. And this can end here, and the parent route ends here. You can have a child inside another child again. You can have multiple childs in the same parent. There can be so many. For that, we need to do some changes in the design. Actually, what should do is the parent is actually here. Let's go here. In the app.js, products category name, that is the parent. Inside that, this detail should work. Then don't end this route. Inside that, it should work. That is route. That means inside this, the details will work. That means in the products category name, and inside that, the details must work. Now, let's go to the products here. So we will go to the products. When user clicks on the image, when user clicks on the image, we will not use slash because details must be relative. It is not absolute. It should load here itself. But the means the point is details is going to load here only. Here where it is going to load here only. Here where we have to decide one location for that. That means here it should load where we have to decide a location for that. That location I will put like this. I will put a div and here we call it as outlet. Outlet indicates where the child one should render. If you don't mention outlet, child one will not render. There is no place for child. You have to mention the outlet. Below the main, I am using it. But actually, we have to keep these two. In a div, we will keep. And what we will do, this we will put class as row. And this we will put a class as call 3. And this we will put a class as call 9. That means now what happens is the result should come. You click on this one, it is going to get the detail and show here. It is going to get and display that here. Suppose let's see now shop. You click on jewelry, jewelry products will come. You click on any product, the product detail will open here. But here one problem you will face. The problem is you click on this one. So the product ID change it to 7, but this not change it. Why? Because every component loads how many times? Only one. Whenever the parameter changes, the component should load again. So where is use effect? This is use effect is loading now. When it should load again? When parameter ID change, parameter ID change. So the dependency here, the dependency, who is the dependency? The dependency is what? Params dot what? ID. When the parameter ID changes, it should load again. That means now see here. So when I click on this one, it should get that and display. Refresh here, see. When I click on this one, it is not changing. Why? Because the parameter is not in category, it is in details. That means the parameter ID is not here. Where is the parameter ID? Parameter ID is in which component? Details. In details component, we have parameter ID. That's what we need to define. So now you see, I will access this one. Then it is going to get that and it should show. You click on it, it will get that and display. You can change the parameter here. That means whenever the parameter changes, this component will load again. When that component loads again, the new data will come again. This time we are accessing and displaying the data in this way. Actually, presentation, I am not concentrating much. I am just working on functionality. So here you click on men's clothing, it will open men's clothing. You click on a product, it will open the product and we can get the product. And you see, this is the route. Inside the route, another route. This is the child route. So we can configure the child routes and we can access the child routes. This is one simple point how we define the parent and child. Previously, we kept it outside. And when you define child route, here one key point is you have to configure the target location to render. to render child element. So it is defined by using outlet. It is defined by using outlet. That is defined by using outlet. This is child route. So it depends on how you want to show. You want to show in a new screen, then no need of any child route. In the same location you want to render, then you have to define the child. When you are defining the child, whenever the parameter changes, it should load again. Then we have to use the dependencies, should define the dependency. Now, in this, you have learned 3 points: how to write basic route, how to write route parameter, how to define child routes. Now, how do we authenticate the routes? Authenticate the routes dynamically navigating to the routes. Authenticating route is nothing but currently we are in home, and how we can shop. By clicking on shop, we can shop. But this shop should not be available to everyone. If anyone clicks on that shop, it should ask him login. Then he will log in. Then only he can see. That means currently every route path is accessible to everyone. There is no limit, restriction. That means anybody can click, anybody can access. But we want restriction for that. If anyone clicks, it should ask login. When user logs in, then it can show, right? That means how you can authenticate any route. Inbuilt, ready-made, there are no authentications. We have to manually create. We have to manually design the authentication. That means everybody will not access. Only people with authorization can access this. For that, we need to learn how to implement the authentication in routes, right? That we'll see in next session. This entire I will upload as a zip file. That shopper template is there. I will upload as a zip folder. You don't try to open the zip folder directly. You copy into your drive and you open, then it will work, right? So I will upload the entire code as a zip folder. You practice that. Then in the next session, we will discuss about authenticating routes, how we can authenticate the routes. For that, we will learn about cookies and managing cookies inside our React application. That we'll see in next session. That will be on Tuesday. Monday we don't have session. Monday is holiday. So because of elections, we have to give holiday. And again, our session will be on Tuesday. Okay.